Hi, welcome. This is going to be your weekly tarot reading for the last week in June. Um, as always, use your own logic, discernment, intuition when making decisions. And I hope this will be a spark for you or a jumping off point you in the right direction, give you clarity to whatever it is that you're wondering about and or confused about, or just inspire you. And as you if you have time, check out the links that I put below also for further clarity on some of the messages and things that we talk about here. You can think of them as examples of some of the imagery, cards, or messages, or see if there's anything in there that speaks to you. Sometimes I find lyrics or just even the song title is connection. Other times I think the scenery or the set design or the imagery or colors, whatever it is a good place to start with inspiration. And also, I tend to confirm some of the things that I talk about here. So if you come across a couple things that have been mentioned a few times, usually take that as to mean it's something to pay attention to, at least for you. So 3 cards just popped out. Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords. So it's about getting out of your head and speaking from your heart. So whatever speaks to your heart that we talk about here. Always stay open-minded to timing, what's past, passing, coming to be. And always stay open to the context as well. See if what we talk about here could be applied to a different context or whatever it is that you're thinking about, wondering about, working on. And just go with it, I guess. We'll see. Comes about. So I thought we would just pull a few cards and see what there is to talk about for coming week. Pull from this Rider-Waite deck for imagery, and then also maybe from some other decks. I have all my decks here, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do Winged Enchantment and I should have probably thought about this before I started, but let me grab a few things. Let's see. For Sunday to Monday, I guess, beginning of the week. The highest and greatest good of all. Let's see what source, universe, energies of love, angels. Oh, okay. Justice. So, now we have a glare again. This is major arcana, number 11, Justice. I kind of think of it as like if the High Priestess is the guardian of everything that's unknown. This is kind of like guardian of all the judicial law systems, all of that. Also time to maybe drawing a line. Drawing a line with what's balanced, what's fair. Going to court. Maybe talking to someone in the legal profession. Maybe just having to speak up for yourself, or again draw a line. Boundaries with others. Could just be a very balanced day, Monday. Pretty literally, you can see the scales there, and it's also about just speaking the truth, having the sword of truth, having universe on your side, having things working out in your favor, maybe winning some sort of, if you've been in some sort of legal battle, winning something. Winning your court case, winning, whatever it is to you. But, this is about being fair. It often talks about the sign Libra, or anything having to do with, legal law, justice, what's fair, what's right. This is probably one of the few cards that doesn't relate so much to the song choice that I have there in the Major Arcana playlist, the Odyssey playlist. What comes right after the Smashing Pumpkins Tonight song. I kind of thought of the 2 people that are jumping in at number 10 and then splitting, going, two different ways. And so you also can go either way. And again, it's just about diving deeper, getting to the truth, getting to the heart of something. And if that requires you to do more research, to dive deeper into a subject, into legal stuff, into research again, like just really getting into it. Whatever it is you're wondering about, thinking about, working on, really just diving in and getting to the bottom of something, even if it's like a relationship, it's about, you can talk about marriage, or partnership again, because 11, which is a master number. So again, a doorway into something. It's taking the first step into something. I sometimes think of time and getting off on the right foot. Let's see. What else? Maybe further clarity on that. Actually, I think I will go through the entire week, pull a card for each day, and then from a different deck, pull clarity cards, because sometimes, the same card pops out, and that's informative in itself. So for Tuesday, let's see, what is to be known? Chariot. This is number 7 of Major Arcana. So far, pretty important events maybe happening the first, beginning of the week, or just things that make more of an impact on you. This can talk about travel, going somewhere, moving somewhere, moving offices maybe, maybe having to just travel, commute for work. It could talk about delays, so just making sure you leave early. 7-11. This is talking about like making sure that you have everything in control, though. Reining things in, making two things go. You're going in opposite directions in one direction, the way that you want things to go. It's about having protection and taking the right precautions. With his armor there, and also talking about the sign of Cancer. So maybe there's a Cancer that's important to you, Libra, Cancer. Both are cardinal signs. So again, I feel like it's about taking the initiative. Maybe you can ask yourself where you need to take the initiative more so in your life, especially those few days. He's also wearing a laurel crown and star. So I also think of following the right path, finding the right course, following it, maybe moving between cities. Maybe there's a lot of traveling going on as well, or just mental travel too, since this also talks about your thoughts being associated with Libra. And Libra being an air sign, sort of truth. So maybe a lot of mental activity, movement, in that way. He always looks like he's wearing like shoulder pads or like some sort of football, jersey type thing with his shoulders, the crescent moons. So I don't know, maybe it's having extra padding, extra protection, extra emphasis on something. Maybe your words have momentum, and whatever you start Monday is going to move forward. So it is about movement forward, moving on. This kind of fell out from the pile. It's the Sun, another major arcana. So, seem to get a good, so you can just see the card. There you go. Nope. Maybe I should have figured this out too. This is, another major arcana. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Major arcana, the Sun, though, really, the Sun is just one of the best cards in the deck, and I feel like, Wednesday, hump day. It's about being a child, though, like, either being childlike in your approach, maybe, with the Chariot, or something involving kids. Maybe if you have kids, something involving your kids on Wednesday to be aware of or to anticipate. And as always, like I've been saying in all these videos, you can reference the playlists that I have made for the Odyssey, the Major Arcana, and also Minor Arcana playlist too, for further like examples or just to see how, you know, visuals of that. Yeah, so this does talk about kids and just kind of shining, you know, being yourself, expressive, opening your arms to, you know, just the way that you would as a kid without any sort of expectations, just sort of embracing everything, embracing life, embracing the warmth, maybe getting outside, enjoying the weather. Wednesday might be good weather. There we go. Maybe I'll just hold it like this. Usually the horse is gray, and he mentions that in the song Alphaville. Alpha talking about the sun, masculine more so energy. Alphaville in 19, the Odyssey, he mentions a gray horse. There's also children, and I don't know, that song just sort of, when I think about like my sun sign, I just kind of always associate with more of like, at least that area of my life also has some sort of like cheesy, I want to say, or like kind of, I don't know, almost like dad humor or something. Like I just kind of think that's what that video reminded me of. It's kind of, yeah, a little bit of cheese. Anyways, so I don't know, however you relate to the sun. I mean, reversed, it could just mean that you're not shining so bright. It could mean a little bit of depression. It could mean just, you know, you're not getting out there, you're feeling a bit shy, you're not really being as expressive as you need to be. Where do you need to be more expressive in your life? Could you be more expressive in your life somewhere? Express what you want, what you need, and that kind of thing. It's 19, and so it reduces down to 1, and it's you. You know, it's about you, Wednesday, getting over maybe that hump, the wall. Yeah, so just where can you be more open to receiving things, more receptive, more, also give too, you know, doesn't just talk about you receiving and embracing, can talk about you giving of yourself, you know, maybe working with children, maybe you're a teacher or something, but where can you give more? I mean, the sun talks about life source and, you know, nurturing too in a way, so sun's face just really stands out to me. It looks very like, I don't know, maybe it's just this deck, it looks kind of creepy to me. But, you know, even his cloak here, it's in the infinity sign. So it's about that everlasting, you know, warmth and embrace of life. It's really all around one of the best cards. Just sun's out, feeling good, feeling great, feeling open to whatever could come in. And so, you know, so far there's kind of this like movement forward with information that makes you feel good and young and maybe like a kid, maybe just happy, like things have worked out. Go a bunch of different ways, but basically this is just a great, wonderful kind of Wednesday. So that's good. Let's see, for Thursday, highest and greatest good of all, Thursday. Now, whenever I see this card, I think of the Aquarius reading that I did for the month of June, just because the sun popped out 3 times from 3 different decks, and also the Leo card popped out, and Leo is ruled by the sun. And then when I was reshuffling, the sun popped out again. So it's just a very important card for Aquarians out there, at least this month, and maybe others. So you could watch that if you're interested. Put all the links for all the readings that I've done for the month below. So let's see. Thursday. Well, another major arcana, the World. So this is something coming to completion, getting close to the end of the week, summing things up, coming full circle with something. again, with the scarf, infinity. So double infinity, forever and ever, something feeling very like concrete maybe, or like again with the legal, maybe signing something, putting something in stone, and there's double infinity up top and bottom here too, plus the circle going around, and also laurel. These are laurel leaves in the circle. So it's also feeling like people are watching, I think. I have all these weird meanings for all these cards. So if there's anything that I mention that's like totally different from what you've heard other people talk about, or typical meanings of the cards, because they're meanings that I've figured out on my own, and or just things that I pick up on, you can take them with a grain of salt, or embrace them. Either way, but just kind of telling you to embrace them, because I kind of have more of like a conversational connection with universe, and so I figured out a lot of this more literal meanings of the cards and things like that. So sometimes it can mean like feeling like a specimen, feeling like you're in some sort of bubble, or where people are watching, surrounding. It can mean your surroundings, what's surrounding you. Do you feel comfortable in your environment? All these things might be coming to mind on Thursday. So you can just see if this plays out for you. The double batons. I mean, it's just double infinity, double baton, double. Like everything. Maybe it's just feeling like everything is very much it's intensified double on Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. 21. It's the end of the cycle. So about to start something all over. You might be, have summer Fridays or something. So for you, Thursday is the end of the week. But it reduces down to 3, and that is creation, creativity. It's the end, again, of a cycle, that something coming to a close and getting ready to start over. So I have the Westworld trailer there in 21 position, because I kind of figured that at a certain point after the judgment, 20, epiphany, wake up, there'd be a sort of larger understanding of what's really going on here in the world. And yeah, just, I don't know if I should really go into it here, but again, Aquarius might be important. There's Aquarius at the top, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. So any of those fixed signs, maybe. Sometimes I feel like she's frozen in time, frozen in space. So, and again, going back to like Petri, or like frozen specimen kind of, maybe feeling very free or vulnerable, like exposed, maybe a mirror, something like sometimes I think of a portrait or a mirror. If any of these things are striking a chord with you, that's mainly the point of all these readings, just to get the wheels turning, to get things in motion, to help you to think about something in a new way or new light. If something catches your attention that applies to whatever it is you're wondering about or working on, see how I'm explaining it in different contexts, and how that may or may not, help you to understand it in a different way, or to approach it in a different way. Basically, just get the wheels turning. And as always, then take it and make it your own. It's basically all I ask. So, anyways, yeah, and so I have the Westworld trailer there because, again, most of these videos I have, for certain set criteria, like the imagery and the code words that I've talked about. And you can find that in a 2-hour-long video. Some of those, they're at the very beginning, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. I had a similar experience. All the videos pretty much relate to my life as well, so there's like layers and layers of meanings here for all the reasons I chose each video. And that one is because I had an experience where I met someone in, I can't find it. Where is it? Okay, anyways, it's just going to annoy me. Like a year and a half ago, maybe longer now, in December. Yeah, so bad. Anyways, in a Starbucks with this guy came up to me, and he had it was the most bizarre thing. It's on my Instagram. If you were to like scroll all the way back and find it, I wrote a whole long little dialogue. But yeah, okay. This guy who looked like, I mean, I can't say that he was like homeless. He didn't look like he didn't have, a home. He looked regularly dressed, but he looked like he had some sort of mental illness or something going on. I don't know. I didn't even notice him at first. I had my headphones on. He just came up to me and started talking to me and telling me about his story and his character and in the story. And I mean, I missed half of the beginning of it, and he was just talking so fast. But a few things caught my attention that were very like almost personal to my life. And if you've been following here for a while, like my family even, and like the Middle East, and how he said like some really crazy things, like I had to keep the baby quiet, I couldn't let them cry, things like that. And I had personally just had a miscarriage, and so it was just very personal and weird. And he had talked about his I don't know that about, I mean, I kind of thought that he was reading something from like a superhero, like a novel, something online, but whatever he was holding also was weird. It looked like some futuristic device from like 20 years from now, but like not really, because it was big and chunky and like had this weird screen that he kept checking as he was reading the story to me. So I thought it was some sort of Kindle or something. That I don't stay really up to date with things. I'm like, maybe there's some sort of new device out. But yeah, it was bizarre. And he kept talking about old world and his character, who's really gifted in alchemy, magic, and fortune telling, and how she doesn't remember who she is, and how she came from the old world that's in ruins now, and just all these things. And he was just talking so fast, and some guys told him to get lost, and he left for a second, and I was just like, kind of, what just happened? And he came back about 40 minutes later, and I noticed him again. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. If he comes up to me, I'm going to ask him all these questions, because I was really interested. And he, like, I don't know, there's something very odd about him. And he was standing over there looking at his little phone thing again, and standing at like the window, and he kept kind of looking over at me, and I'm like looking up, waiting for him to come over. I'm like, okay, yes, it's on. Like, he starts walking over to me, and I'm like totally drawn into this conversation by now, and thinking like, okay, well, this is just so bizarre. This is going to be a good story to tell. And so I asked him, like all these questions, and he started to tell me Stephen Moore. I don't even remember everything that I wrote down, but just more about his character and how he has to warn her, and how he asked me. I mean, at the time, what was weird was I had been talking about all these, like, it was one of the themes that I was going with, concept themes that I was going with at the time, things of the night and, like, alchemy. I was learning about all that stuff at the time. And so it was so bizarre to me that he was talking about all these things that were very specific to what I had, like, literally just posted the day before or something. And he kept looking at me like, do you understand? I'm like, yes, I understand. Like, I was totally drawn. I'm like, who is this guy? Thinking, oh, great, now I have another stalker. And this one has just happened to be cross-eyed, and he is like, it's this weird device from the 80s, and like, I don't know. And I don't know, but it was just so bizarre because he knew so many specifics. And I asked him, he said something like, he has to warn someone or something before the dragons come. So I'm like really thinking this is some sort of like, I don't know, like book on tape, or like 80s Japanese film that I don't know, like, and how he asked me if I knew what he meant by dragons, and I said, well, I said, I don't know, dinosaurs, or like demons or something like that. Like, what do you think of dragons? I don't know, like, besides actual dragons, or there aren't dragons, so like, I don't know. And he said yes, when I said demon, he's like, some of them are in human form, some of them come up from the ground or something, and some of them, like, he's like, but these are real dragons, something. I'm like, okay, now this guy is probably crazy, but like, I'm really curious. And he seemed harmless. So I asked him what book he was reading, what story this was, what he was reading. He said, oh, it's a book that I'm writing. And something else too, and something else that was very strange, but I'm kind of blanking. I wasn't expecting to talk about this, but so then he was just like, okay, bye, like very like childlike in a way too, like like, okay, bye, and like just like walked out the door, and I was like around the corner, so I like got up and like walked to the door too, and he was gone. Like, what is happening? And then I walked out, and there was like, I don't know what it was or how this happened, but there was like some sort of like one of those gold, I don't know what they're called, but they're like little pogs, but they're like gold. Have you seen? I don't know. And it fell like off the roof. So I'm thinking like, that's so weird, because he just mentioned like alchemy, and then I'm like looking up, and there's like this crescent moon, and it's the strangest day, and I wrote about that, and that reminded me a lot of that Westworld, and also beyond that, there's just a lot of similarities. I've mentioned that like speaks on multiple levels though too, with like with creation and like the end of a project, and what do you go through in that middle period between ending something and starting a new one. So, yeah, there's so many different ways to look at it, and you can see how it applies to you. Yeah, so Thursday, maybe I'll have to cut that out and put it somewhere else. I don't know. Thursday, oh wait, for Friday, let's see what is to be known. It's too many cards. Friday, this is your yes answer. Thank goodness it's Friday kind of thing. This is yes. Basically, it's your green light. So if you're wondering if you should go away, do something, it's a yes. It's an ace. It's the beginning of the weekend, probably for a lot of people out there. So just talks about a brand new start with something. Probably traveling. This is the weekend. Sixth day. Six of Swords. It's people being on board, being behind you, helping, moving you forward, either moving your thoughts forward, moving your words forward, you can just talk about like short distance travel too, or just like going over a body of water or something like that. Any kind of travel, but also especially mental travel. Sometimes I think of it as like remote viewing kind of thing, or like just moving towards a better place in your mind, moving towards smoother waters, just sort of, yeah, walking or moving along that thin line sort of too between smooth and rocky. So you might just have to find some sort of balance in how you're getting somewhere on the weekend. Or just talking about you going away, and 6 is a good number. It's moving, past 5 change, and so it's like moving towards stability. Maybe just taking what you need, not overloading your. Maybe you're deciding where to go. Something pushing you ahead, pushing you forward. Let's see if there's anything else for Sunday. I'm not sure which one is supposed to come out. It's a 5 of discs. Sunday. You're usually walking past a church, so coming home maybe, or just starting at the ground up, some sort of stage. Everything is on a stage usually too within those playlists, just showing how we create our own stages in life. Life is a big performance and all that. So this is though building up your foundation, your stability. This is maybe just going home, the 4th house, home. This is two things coming together. Two opposites, celebration maybe, coming back for a celebration, Sunday. Something modest will turn into something big later on. This is laying the groundwork, foundation for something also. So, or just structure, stability in your ideas and what you've built so far. Having a strong base, having a strong foundation to work with, strong connection. Someone by your side also cheering you on, yeah. Maybe this could be yes, moving in somewhere, between these two. Maybe you're moving offices, moving homes, moving locations, but moving home, moving somewhere, going somewhere, maybe moving into a home with someone. This often talks about, I think of coming together, marriage, moving in together, yay, I don't know, playing house, that kind of thing. Yeah, so, okay. Don't want to open that card. Let's see. Let's pull some from the Robin Wood Tarot deck. So one for each day. We'll see if there's further clarity for Monday. Justice. Ace of Swords, so yeah, a brand new beginning of the week, brand new. Yes. Again, another sword, so I feel like there's a lot of truth or a lot of facts that are going to come out. A lot of understanding or drawing a line. A lot of clarity on something. Probably clarity. We're just starting the week off on a strong note, having a brand new idea, epiphany thing coming to you. Thought, something to run with. Yeah, it just looks like it's piercing the clouds and just creating light with its reflection, it's just bringing clarity to everything around it. Yeah, so again, in that infinity, white roses and laurels, a lot of laurel, so I think of growth too, and greenery growth, so clarity in your mind, thoughts, growth of your thoughts, growth of something that will push you forward, that will bring light to something, illuminate something. Six of Swords, again, kind of hanging out there, so sometimes I think of it more so as spirit moving you, how you can see that there's some sort of spirit, ghost person moving this huge swan boat ahead. I think of Love Boat, or one of those rides in an amusement park or something. Love rides, you take a swan, but I've never actually been on one, but that's what I imagine they look like, little swan things going around. I don't know if that was meant to come out. So let's see, for Tuesday, Five of Wands. This is again bringing, I think, clarity to a situation, moving through the confusion, moving through any sort of competition, I think, of at work, or just play fight or something like that. Seeing clearly, seeing the objective clearly, working well with others maybe, or attempting to, maybe having to direct things a little bit, delegate out responsibilities or something like that. But five is a change, maybe a change again in where your location, change in jobs, a change in movement or transportation, some sort of change though. If you're expecting change, you can be assured there probably will be, and if not, you can anticipate potential change in ideas, beliefs, anything like that. This could mean like there's a little bit of competition, a little bit of like confusion maybe, having to do between colleagues at work, or ideas. I always feel like these are people like everyone wants their ideas to be heard, and like no one's really getting through or making it clear. Just combating of things going on, of people's ideas, of people, what they want to see happen. So it's the cutting through that confusion and moving forward with one clear idea, maybe making sure that everyone is on the same page, maybe reading the instructions, instruction manual, maybe there's some sort of car manual or something that you need, I don't know. Maybe you're going to a game. I was going to often talk about like a game, play fight, or a game, an actual like sports game, playing sports. Maybe you're going to see a sports game. None of them seem to like really, like they have these big sticks, they don't know what to do with them. So, or they're using them wrong, I don't know. So just making sure that everything, again, is moving in the same direction, that any opposing, opposite ideas, things that people, are all understood and are all going in the right same direction, clearly moving forward in a strong way, because there could potentially be disruptions or confusion and all that. Tuesday. Wednesday. Clarity on the sun. Let's both want it to come out. Queen of Pentacles. Just looking over something, appreciating something, appreciating your surroundings, feeling rich with what you have. Again, with the sun, maybe like taking care of your kids. This is, though, a woman, or, it's general, so it could talk about a guy, but I feel like it's a woman. She's very nurturing. Reverse, she could be materialistic and too focused on something, not looking up, not looking around her, just too focused on what she has, and, just advises to be grateful for what you have, but not be so, like, obsessed with it, you're distracted or something. To just enjoy your environment, I think, getting outside, being in nature, the sun, maybe some really good weather on Wednesday, like a weather woman. This is what also came out, is the Seven of Wands. So it came out reversed, though, so I kind of feel like this could be talking about two, different groups of people. So standing up for your beliefs, standing your ground, getting a good footing. Maybe you're getting your footing, feeling strong, in control of what you have going on, even if there's a lot of things coming at you. This is you having the higher ground. This is you fighting them off with a stick, you feeling maybe wealthy with your what you have to work with, wealthy in resources, I think of too. That is enabling you to fight people off, to stand your ground, to stay strong in your beliefs, in your in what you're standing up for. The wands in this deck all look like magic. They're all glowing and have different colors at the end. Makes me think of that jewelry, that you'd see like on Etsy, that you'd wrap, like wire wrapped crystals and things like that. Maybe if you're trying to look for a creative idea, how can you make something like that more, less crafty, more quality, more unique? It also has this like plaid, like skirt, cape. It's like an all-in-one outfit. Yeah, so again, another 7. Maybe there's some carryover from Tuesday with the Chariot, number 7, and the other 5 of Wands, some sort of play fight. Maybe this is you winning, feeling successful within that competition, within that fight, within that game. Maybe it'll be a close call, but you ultimately winning, having the higher ground. Reverse can mean that you feel like you're just taking on way too much and you're losing control of things. So again, it's to like remind you with the Chariot to stay in control, to stay centered, to bring things in, to rein things in, not to take on too much. And there was the World for Thursday. So we can see what context or what is coming full circle on Thursday. Again, Pentacles having anything to do with your life, like not your beliefs, not your feelings, not your thoughts, but your actual physical, tangible environment, your life. So this, when I see the Queen of Pentacles, I think of, as opposed to the other queens, like actual living person, like less of the emotional side of yourself, less of the fiery side of like an actual living person. So this could be you or someone in your life, but again, it's your environment, and it's potentially like work and feeling like you are shining at work and you're fighting the rest of them off, and you're maybe standing up, maybe standing up for yourself or standing up against others in work, but being successful with that. Maybe getting a small raise or promotion that's making you feel like really successful, or just acknowledgement, I think, too. Maybe from a higher up, maybe someone you look up to. So anyways, for Thursday, context for the world, clarity, further clarity for the world. This is the Four of Pentacles. So this is then saying to not get too greedy with whatever that is that comes through for you on Wednesday. To just, and there's a lot of things that this talks about. This is me like, don't hold back or let go of something. Don't hold on to whatever may or may not be helping you. This is yourself, myself. This is home again, or just any 4-letter word. It talks about just not being jealous. Maybe be aware that if you are doing well at work, you're being acknowledged at work, like there could be people that are jealous of you, to just let it go. Some sort of 4, though, again, stability. So having stability, wanting that, being appreciative of what you have and not too greedy, being able to find ways to also give back what you have, what you've gotten. This could just mean that you have like a kind of nasty boss. It's like, hoarding stuff and not wanting to pay out or something like that. Maybe having to ask for something that you really don't want to have to ask for. World, though, completion, I think, though, it has some sort of to do with work, since this is Pentacles. Maybe again, sharing your world with someone else. For home, I did mention moving home, so maybe you're not like wanting to share something at home or share your home with someone else, or you're just kind of holding back in some way, shape, or form that is obvious to others. So you can just see how that works out for you. Wanting to complete something, though, maybe wanting to just be done with the week. You've been through 4 days already, you're just done. So that's very much just what it could speak to, just job, work, completion of work, completing a project. So Friday, the Ace of Wands, clarity. Three of Cups. Yes, this is your party, this is your gathering, this is getting together with friends, celebrating, just having fun time, fun night out. It's 3, it could be more than 3 people, or maybe 3 is important to you. 3 days, 3 people, 3 sisters, 3 colleagues, 3 friends, anything like that. or just 3 facets of your personality. But yes, it's like probably most likely just pretty literal, and like, yes, you're going out. You're saying yes to going out with friends, saying yes to having a good time, making sure that you get out. Something that speaks to your emotions, and something you enjoy. All the little cups have moons on them. I didn't notice that. They have like little ballet shoes, and this reminds me of the 12 Dancing Princesses and this like fairy tale theater, Shelley Duvall's fairy tale theater from like the 80s, and 12 Dancing Princesses, they all had these different colored ballet slippers, shoes that wrapped up like that. So it also reminds me of the Chanel resort show too, with the ribbon wrapping and the shoes. If any of you follow fashion, maybe you're just letting there be a diversity. You know, they all have different color hair, different color dresses, bringing in new people, hang out with Friday, celebrating something. Maybe, yes, you were getting some sort of, maybe you're done with the job, or you're, again, moving forward in your career, or getting some sort of promotion or something like that. And now you're out with friends celebrating. That kind of reminds me, I always say itches on my face when I do these readings. Yeah, this is a little side note, maybe, or maybe you were just looking forward to the weekend and celebrating with friends and making it a good, fun time, bringing in new people, meeting new people out. Whenever I see this, I think of like getting ready with friends and like trying on clothes and like drinking and stuff like that on Friday night, you know, like pre-party. So, let's see if there's anything else. Saturday for the 6 of Swords. Yeah, I think this is like, this fell out on the Ace of Swords. So this is the Tower, epiphany, lightning striking, new inspiration, clearing away the confusion from before, and now you can see clearly. Now you understand something clearly. It's the 2 of Wands. So again, I think of like watching something on your phone, or looking out over something, watching something, having some different vantage point, seeing things clearly. So again, and also travel, maybe trying to figure out where to go. Both have their backs towards us. I don't know if that's maybe just feeling like looking out into the future, looking into the distance, looking forward, trying to figure out which way to go, where to go, maybe just looking forward to traveling the world. World in your hands, but you can talk about a choice though, and a choice between maybe people, but I think of it more as like abstract ones, like places to go, where you're going, destinations, locations, choice between 2 outcomes of what you hope might happen. And yeah, I did think of this more in terms of the globe, in terms of the world that he's holding for the Taylor Swift 2 of Wands video that I have, at least the chorus part. Yeah, there's hidden meanings, all kinds of meanings in the videos that I've chosen, if you just try to think of them in terms of the tarot and all that. So, and the imagery, base imagery. Oh my gosh, I think it's my fan. It's like making all my hair like, anyways, yeah, so I just noticed this jacket more so tapestry, and like the red and the blue hat, and just sort of, I don't know, 2 6s or 26, or yeah, for me that worked out. It's not for me, but that's my 26. I explained this in the last video. I think of my sun sign here, and I was born on the 26th, so maybe something really having to do with your ego this weekend, and who and how you see yourself in the world. Very much what I was talking about. How do you see yourself in the world? Where do you see yourself going? Yeah, where do you see yourself going? Maybe, again, going home, everything coming full circle. That's another thing that I wanted to mention with, I think the world, or just in general, that can talk about coming home, things coming full circle. And that has also been a consistent theme throughout the last, I don't know how, like year even, but definitely throughout all these readings, and, kind of tapping into the whole Wizard of Oz kind of thing, which, if you haven't realized, that is completely like based on a lot of these concepts. There's Dorothy, the fool's journey, but, the different suits being made up by the scarecrow and the lion, and so water, fire, swords, all that. She could also be considered the water also, because in the before, but yeah, you can see how it works out. Maybe, again, going on some sort of journey this weekend and just seeing where things take you, just maybe not even making up your mind on where you want to go, just get on the boat, get in the car, get on the train, kind of do one of those things and just sort of see where you end up. It could be an adventure, much needed adventure maybe, that brings you closer to a feeling of, maybe it brings you closer home to where it is that you want to be, to someone, maybe you're wondering if you could like meet someone halfway or something, or if, I don't know, anything like that makes sense to you. But let's see, for Sunday, for the Four of Wands, Queen of Wands. So, either you may be feeling very creative on Sunday, feeling very like fired up, excited, passionate about something. You're just being energetic. I think of fire more so as like energy too sometimes, like just being energetic and gung-ho about something, enthusiastic, somewhat intense sometimes, just depending on, how that works out for you. But Queen of Wands, hopefully also the more like mature fire energy that's, worked through all their creative, passionate, like enthusiastic issues. So I think of having a lot of creative energy can just be very excitable, very, rush into things, be a little bit impulsive and all that. So by this point, by the time you get to the Queen of Wands, you should be pretty much more in control of that, at least know what your triggers are, know how to rein it in, again, with the Chariot, rein things in, rein in your ideas, rein in that creative passion. Know when things are just being more, when you're getting more excited about something, that not everyone sees it that way, so to just rein it in. Also, I should mention that, like, sometimes these suit cards, I feel like they also talk about people that are more like predisposed towards these characteristics and being amplified on these days. So maybe if you know a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or just someone who embodies this Queen of Wands energy, fire energy, that might be more apparent or obvious, playing a more important role in their life that day. Just a lot of creative energy coming in at them or at you. This is you, where you're giving that off. People are seeing you as very excited, very, I didn't say happy too, like, I don't know, I think fire signs are pretty positive usually, and if they aren't feeling positive, are pretty like good at being deflectors and like, at least faking it, because fire signs are warm and they want to embrace people and they want to be happy, they want to be positive, they want to give off that and bring it back in. Fire wants to keep itself going, so just being on the lookout for that, because reverse, you can be a little bit crazy and like a little bit manipulative and not being able to like rein, like I said, the opposite of all that, maybe center of attention, something like just being self-centered. Fire signs, fire is self-centered sometimes. It's a little bit selfish, a little bit like one-track mind kind of thing. So making sure that you embody the good traits of the Queen of Wands. So again, just being cognizant and in control of yourself. And let's see, and if there's anything else, she just looks so like happy and excited with her little wand and like blending in with her environment. She is the sun, so again, just giving off happy vibes, I think. getting people on board, getting things going, putting things into motion, really capitalizing or like embracing that energy that you might feel that day, Sunday, to make things go forward. I always feel like she's, in the air, like, like, I've got it, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and just very, like, I don't know, positive, I'm going to say, and talkative, I think, too, sometimes, especially if, like, Leo, Aries people, so, anyways, it's probably whoever's at home, or your wife, or if this is you, Queen of Wands, feeling like the Queen of Wands in your house, in your household, being creative at home maybe too, if you're not going anywhere, just sprucing up the house, bringing in some newness, maybe refurnishing some furniture that you find, or, just getting creative with maybe your kids, or, spending some time outside. I always think of some sort of like tent or structure or park or something like that. I think of Point here in Chicago. If you are in Chicago, going to the beach, going to the Point where there's a little tower like this. It's like one of the best places. It's so pretty there with Lake Michigan. And so just doing something creative, enjoying the weather. It's like a good day. Let's see. Let's pull. I'm really close to you guys right now. I have too much stuff going on. Let's pull a Enchanted Map Oracle card, and then we'll be done for the week. Enchanted Map Oracle. Oh, 46. Hold on. I'm going to do a different one, because I don't like that card. It's not that exciting. 42, wide open. I feel like that's more energy. Intention. That's weird, I flipped right to it. That's what it looks like. So, you are free to express your uniqueness to the world and share in all the bounty of life's endless possibilities. All manner of opportunities are presented to you at this time. The wide open card is a signal that you're able to truly manifest your dreams and that your goals are in sight. Don't remain small and contracted. Instead, expand your horizons beyond what you believe to be your limitations. You have a unique voice that needs to be expressed in the world. The universe is supportive of new ideas and approaches at this time, so speak up and speak out. This card is the sign of the maverick who freely roams the wide open space of possibility. Allow for a greater vision to replace old ideas as you dream a grander dream. So don't just stop with whatever it is that your initial spark. Keep it going, develop it further, develop yourself more, see what else could come in. Don't limit yourself like this, stay open to what, could develop even more. Stay open. I almost want to say something else, but again, there's just so much expression and like creative openness and embracing of life's possibilities, and just I feel like just keeping the energy going. I feel like there's just a lot of like movement and need to keep that energy, that flame, that spark going, and so not limiting yourself, just staying open to whatever else could be inspirations, and so reverse, look at things both ways. Envy, jealousy, and possessiveness are the character flaws to be careful of at this time. You or someone else is closed off, unable to remain open to new ideas or intimacy. Heed the gentle warning that too tight a hold on what or who you love or what you aspire to will choke the life out of that which you desire. Open your heart and loosen your grip. For what is truly yours can never be withheld from you. If another is shutting you down, let that person be. Don't try to force a door or mind to open. That's interesting. I mean, I feel like, where did I see, like, someone was saying how they choked, like, the Obama administration, like, choked or something on the Russia, because I totally called the whole Russia thing, like, back on, I don't know what day it was, last week's weekly, Sunday, and then again Wednesday, I don't know. So, Russia's interference with the election, I called it. That's what that just made me think of, but also just people that you sometimes come across in like the creative industry that, you know, are just, especially just wanting to want everything for themselves kind of thing. They don't want to give credit and all that, where they found their ideas. Like, I feel like you get what you give, and if you are one of those people that are willing to speak up about where you got your inspiration and even point people in that direction, then you really, I mean, you have nothing to hide or be afraid of, you know, because your confidence in your own ability on top of that you don't need to hoard, you know, other people's ideas and not give credit to them because you have enough yourself, you know. It's just a reference. So, I don't know, some people though see what I talk about and really enjoy to like just take those ideas for themselves and pretend that they don't know where they got them or that they came up with them themselves. And as much as I'd like to, you know, say thanks to little bloggers like Perry Dust, like for, you know, appreciating my content so much and the ideas and concepts that I come up with, I just want to say to them that they can feel free to give me credit or to work with me, or also just find their own inspirations and their own ideas, because I'm sure they're good. You know, you don't have to just go with whatever I talk about here, you know, because I know you're watching, so you don't have to just, these are supposed to be jumping off sparks for you and to, you know, pull from, and then, you know, see how they affect your own life and what your own experience has been, and integrate and mesh them, you know, because otherwise you're just living someone else's life, and that can't be very fulfilling or satisfying. If you're just working your way through other people's projects and other people's thoughts, you know. So just wanted to encourage people like her to, you know, really explore their own creativity and see where it takes them. So anyways, I hope this was helpful and that you have a great week and really embrace everything that comes your way. All right, bye.